Let us proceed further with the next non-renewable energy resource, that is petroleum. Now it is one of the most important fuels in the world. Now, petroleum, as you can see, is a word, it's a Latin word which is actually coming from the drilling of the rocks, and therefore it is termed as petroleum. That is Latin word petra, rock, and oleum, that is the oil or the crude oil which is extracted from it. It is actually also termed as the mineral oil or the crude oil. You can use any of the three terms for petroleum. It is a naturally occurring liquid found beneath the Earth's surface that can be refined into petroleum. Now, petroleum is a fossil fuel, we all know that. Exactly like coal, it takes thousands or millions of years to form, and it is a mixture of complex organic and inorganic compounds, and it is refined to give us many useful products, and it is a great energy. It has a lot of energy content in it. Therefore, petroleum is used in almost all industrial sectors. You should know that the Kuwait and Saudi Arabia have the largest oil fields in the world. Russia and North America also have significant oil reserves. Although India needs to import a large quantity of petroleum from other countries, the country has still exploited its reserves in Assam, that is Digboi, Sibsagar, and Naharkatia. And most recently, they have found the reserves in the coastal regions of Gujarat, that is Ankleshwar and Bombay High, that is the off coast of Mumbai. Now, new reserves have also been found in the Krishna Godavari basin in Andhra Pradesh. Children, it's important. Kindly learn the names of all the places where the petroleum is found. You also need to learn the byproducts which are formed from petroleum, that is the diesel, kerosene, petrol, cosmetic products, and paraffin wax, etc. You must have seen your Vaseline also that you have, that is petroleum jelly only. Many cosmetic products have petroleum wax in it. The next non-renewable resource is the natural gas. Now, what is natural gas? First, let us understand what it is. And natural gas is found along with the crude oil or petroleum. While we are extracting the petroleum, there is gas also which is emitted out from the drilling area. So that is, and it actually or mainly consists of methane gas. And when it burns, it does not cause a lot of pollution also. And natural gas is easily supplied directly through pipes to homes and industries, which also saves the problem of storage. About one-fourth of the natural gas reserves in the world are found in Russia, basically. And apart from that, USA is also a leading producer of natural gas. But in India, the same areas that we had for petroleum, that is Gujarat, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, and Odisha. These are the areas where we have the reserves of natural gas. But in the main resource or the source of natural gas is the shallow stretch in the North Sea. You see the North Sea out here in between Europe and your United Kingdom. You have the Lincolnshire area in the up till Netherlands in Europe. That entire stretch of area has a lot of reserve of natural gas, which is mentioned in your book also. But if we talk about India precisely, the natural gas reserves are found in Rajasthan, that is the Jaisalmer area of Rajasthan only. The next non-renewable energy resource is the nuclear power or the atomic energy. Let us understand how we obtain it. We get the nuclear energy by harnessing the energy which is stored in the nucleus of the atoms of the naturally occurring radioactive elements like uranium, thorium, and plutonium. That means These are the elements which are present in the nature, and when we actually obtain the energy through these radioactive elements through the functioning of fusion or fission. That means these are the two processes through which we can extract the energy out of these radioactive elements. The first one, that is the fission. How is that done? That is, the atoms are split to obtain the nuclear energy present in them. And the process of combining two atoms to produce nuclear energy is called fusion. As the name suggests, fission, that means we are splitting them apart, and fusion, we are putting two atoms together so that we can combine them and create nuclear energy through them. In this diagram, you can see that the uranium element, that is in the nucleus, that is in the center, you have energy stored up, and through the action of fission, we are splitting it apart, and the uranium nucleus is split and it releases 2 or 3 neutrons of heat energy, thereby creating nuclear power. Now, in your book, you can easily mark the areas where it is found. USA and European countries have the biggest reserves of nuclear energy, and India has 8 atomic plants, whereas uranium is found in the Singhbum and Jharkhand area. Thorium is found along the coast of Kerala, and these power plants are located in Rawatbada, that is Rajasthan, and one each at Narora, that is one is in Uttar Pradesh also, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Gujarat. So you can learn any 4 of them. If you want to learn more, it's your choice. Otherwise, 4 should be learnt by heart. Children, the next topic given in your book is the hydroelectric projects in India, which we will be doing in detail. Each project will be taken in detail in the next upcoming classes. But today we will continue with the conservation of energy and power resources, because we've done the non-renewable and the renewable energy resources. Now let us understand why we need to conserve it or why we need to use them judicially. Conservation of energy is important as the non-renewable resources have taken thousands of years to form. That means millions of years of accumulation, heat, and the pressure applied along that has actually formed these resources. And once they are over or they are finished or exhausted, they cannot be formed back again during the man's lifespan. So it is actually understandable that we need to use them judiciously and carefully. So due to the excessive demand, why is the demand also increasing? Because we have an upcoming and a growing population which actually requires a lot of products, and we are using a lot of vehicles, and every product which is made in the industry is running on the energy resources. So eventually everything boils down to the growing population, because of which there is excessive demand, because of which there is excessive production. And if there is a production of any product which you are using in your daily life, it will lead to a pressure on, or it will lead to excessive use of the energy resources. So we must use them judiciously and carefully, because once they are used, they cannot be replaced soon. So either we completely change over to the alternative energy resources, that is the renewable energy resources, or we learn to use these non-renewable resources very, very carefully. But how do we use them carefully? Let's learn a few ways of conserving energy, which we have done previously also. Number one, that is using the 3 R's, that is reduce, recycle, and continue to reuse your products. Number two, carpooling. If you are doing your carpooling, you are automatically saving on a lot of petrol, thereby decreasing the pollution in the air also. Turning off lights and fans, first of all, you're reducing your electricity bill. Secondly, you are saving energy. Every unit of energy saved is every unit of energy conserved for the future. Then comes cycling or using public transports. Obviously, when you are using a public transport or carpooling or cycling, you are saving on the petrol consumption or the diesel consumption. Using alternative resources like the solar, wind, and the hydropower, all of these are renewable resources. They are not going to get exhausted, and we can reuse again, use them again and again to generate electricity. So these are some of the effective ways of saving energy. Let us proceed further to the homework. That is, first of all, you need to make a flow chart of the renewable and the non-renewable resources. You can either make it like this, like a mind map, or you can make a proper flow chart like you make in your computers. Make a arrow, continue with the arrows, and write the names of the energy resources belonging to renewable and non-renewable. Second question, why do we need to use fossil fuels judiciously? We have just discussed it. You can write that complete answer in your own words, or if you have some extra points, please add them. The next question, that is, state any three measures to save energy. You can write any of the energy saving methods which I have mentioned, or if you have any pointers, please make use of them and write them in proper sentences, not in words. Thank you, class. This is all for today. Thank you so much.